Friday night used to mean relaxation, chilling. Yeah. But these days, once your paid work ends, your unpaid work begins. You know what I'm talking about? If you don't, we put this together to help.
Feeling overworked? Well, we're not surprised. Aussies have been taking on extra unpaid labour all over the place. It's called shadow work. And you're probably due a promotion. Shadow work looks like scanning your own groceries, checking yourself in at airports, even ordering your own Happy Meal.
It's all shit.
Why?
It's only for the new generation. You know, anyone over 40, just stupid.
I just find it a nightmare. The machines never work.
For a number of reasons, I've actually gone back to not using self-checkouts.
The move is part of a global trend of businesses forcing consumers to do their jobs for free.
Well, I draw the line when it comes to assembling IKEA, and I've told my wife that. No more cupboards, no more things for Glenn to put together. So, should I have been paid? Absolutely.
And sure, IKEA's been forcing us to build our own Fialbo bookshelf for years, but these Aussies are way more than amateur carpenters. Businesses are turning us into bankers, travel agents, and even waiters.
And while businesses say the technology actually makes things cheaper for consumers...
There's more script.
Oh, this line's actually self-serve?
Oh.
Yep.
Not all of us agree.
I prefer the personal service.
And if you're having second thoughts about your role in the supply chain, you're not the only one. US supermarket giant Walmart has recently scaled back self-checkout machines after they linked the tech to a rise in theft.
They have their pros and cons.
There are also concerns that shadow work limits job opportunities for low-skilled workers, while also driving us all a bit mad along the way.
Unexpected person in the hosting area. Unexpected person in the hosting area.
Did you just try to put me through as Rove?
Check the bag for that. Well, Paul Harrison is a senior lecturer in consumer behaviour. Paul, are you a fan of this technology?
Oh, look, I am a fan in some contexts. So I am a massive fan of QR codes and self-service checkout. I kind of loathe the digital stuff that goes on in telephones where you have to press 7 buttons before you can even get your inquiry done. And I guess one of the things I have a love-hate relationship with is the airports. If it works well, I love the kiosks, I love the quick checkout, but when there are thousands of people all behind the one kiosk, it's a disaster.
So, Paul, how do you feel about being wrong? Those QR codes at cafes are the worst, Paul.
Yeah.
When I go to a cafe, Paul, I want someone to come over and say to me, what would you like? And I give my order, but could I put this on the side and add a bit of this? I don't want to have to log in and start an account, Paul. By the time that's done, my coffee could be there.
No, the account thing is a problem. It is a problem.
Well,
but it's
thank
so good
you.
because
The prosecution rests, Paul. Who's next?
I'm sorry you had to see that, Paul. There was an incident with Hollandaise. We've not been able to get him to recover from it. Right. I did want to ask you, though, you about stores like Walmart. They're pulling back from the technology because of theft. Is that a trend that you think that we'll be seeing here in Australia?
I reckon there'll be some kind of equilibrium. I think the problem is that most technology is introduced into these retailers to save money, and it actually doesn't save money because the moment that you have all this technology, you need more people to run it, you have more platforms, you have more information, you have more data. And interestingly, in the 1930s, John Maynard Keynes predicted that technology would mean that we would only work 15 hours a week, and that hasn't really worked out that way either. I think technology often promises a lot but doesn't deliver what people expect.
Well, what do you make of the argument that this kind of technology does have a meaningful impact on us, as though it has a toll, be that mentally, physically?
Yeah, look, I think one of the things is that humans are relational creatures, and what this technology does is makes most of our interactions transactional, not relational. So I think it takes away this human need for connection with others. And I think one of the mistakes that retailers and businesses make is that they introduce this technology purely to save money, but what they want is loyal customers, and you only get loyal customers if they trust you and if they form a relationship with you. And if everything's transactional, then they're not going to have a relationship with you.
So, Paul, what about the future? I mean, will dentists be automated? Will we have to get medical checkups from robots? I mean, where does this all end?
I mean, you'd be surprised how much is actually technology-driven now. I mean, you know, dentists create teeth from the technology. So I think one of the things to be thinking about is how we use it to, I guess, take away the tasks that we don't necessarily need to do. I heard somebody say that, You know, the technology is great, but when it can pack a dishwasher for me, I don't want it to be writing poetry. And I think that's the critical thing, is that how it reduces the amount of effort so we have a little bit more time to relax and to kind of get on with our lives.
Paul, do you think there's a chance that supermarkets would be open to moving the cameras to a slightly higher level and better lighting so I don't have to count my chins with my bananas?
I think basically they should have ring lights for everybody. That would be the best solution.
Paul, yes, down with QR codes, in with the ring lights.
Well, Paul, as a human who also enjoys interaction, I apologise for my outburst earlier, and I'm just ordering now for the table. What can I get for you?
Always chips. Always
Okay,
chips.
done it. Hang on, I just got to log into my account, but I'll get it happening. Thank you very much for your time, Paul.
Make a lot of sense, Paul.
Cheers, take care.
It does make sense.
I lied, I'm actually texting Stephen Curry.
Just pick up that name you dropped. Excuse me.
Can I point out how much I don't like
QR codes.
the scanning part of things at the supermarket? But also they've started snitching now. Like, have you ever, because they've got cameras everywhere.
sure.
I like hide away from the camera and I'm scanning my items. And then every now and again it'll go, still got a Mars bar in the basket there. I'm like, I bought that separately, little snitchy scanner.
Do you know what I love? The fact that there could be people out there who've seen you in a grocery store and they go, I wonder if that's Rove, and you're like this, just playing
Just get my angles, man. Just just blending in.
If you hate scanning stuff, you know, there's a clothing store I love called Uniqlo, who I'm not sponsored by, but would love to be. And then you just put all the stuff in a bag, and you just put the bag in the thing, and it scans it all automatically.
It's
you don't even have to
actual
individually.
magic.
It's incredible.
How does it know?
Well, I guess it's RFID chips or something. I don't know what the technology is. You have to ask Mr. Uniqlo or Mr. I don't know, a member of the Uniqlo family. But all I know is when I go there and I buy 4 shirts or whatever, and they're very affordable.
So if you put me in that bag, would it go, oh, that's Rove and he's eaten too many Mars bars?
Yeah. It can identify cotton clothing and also loggy winners. That's it. That's the...